Hello, everyone, and welcome to Embracing Your Essence on Lilydale Radio. I am Colleen van der Zijden, the host of the show, and I'm so happy to see you here. And as you are joining in, please do say hello and let me know, number one, that you can see me. It's always good to make sure my tech is working. So definitely say hello as you're joining me. Tonight, we are going to be talking about protecting your energy. The energy is a little insane out there right now, and I've got some thoughts and ideas, really one major strategy to help you stay in your power and manage and protect your energy. We're also going to be doing some mini personal guidance sessions, if you will, and I will do those after I have a little talk in the beginning, and then we'll get to that. So definitely say hello as you are joining me in. Hi, Mary. Nice to see you. So as you're joining me, let me just give you some details. As I said, I'm Colleen van der Zijden, a registered medium here in Lilydale Assembly. I am a spiritual teacher. I am an empowerment coach. I am the author of the book Courageously You. I am the host of the show, as I said, and I like to be here every week just to give you some ideas to help you become your best self. So I'm just going to say hello. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Pam. Nice to see you guys. And tonight, I need to give more details. LilydaleAssembly.org is the official website. Our summer season starts in June, but we will soon be putting up the summer workshops and all the events that will be coming in the season 2026 summer. So that's coming soon. The official Facebook page for Lilydale Assembly Incorporated. My website is ColleenVanderZijden.com, and my official Facebook page is Colleen van der Zijden, Medium and Empowerment Coach. And if you think you're going to want some intuitive guidance tonight, little mini reading, you will want to be on my page, not Lilydale's page, because I cannot see the comments there. So if you want to do that. But first, we are going to talk about some other things, and it won't be long. So I wanted to make sure I saved enough time to talk to you guys and find out what's going on, how you're doing. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Whitney. I'm so glad you're here with us. Hi, Jennifer. Oh, it is cold out there, isn't it? And hi, Ruth. Hi, Carol. And Happy New Year, everybody. Hi, Jade. I haven't seen you guys in a while because of the holidays, of course, and I was doing some traveling. I was also teaching the Manifest an Amazing 2026 class, and another class for our soul empowerment community. But here we are tonight, and I'm so looking forward to seeing you. Hi, Paula. Hi, Martin and Hillary. Who did I miss? I missed somebody. Oh, hi, Robin. Nice to see you. So tonight we are going to, as I said, talk a little bit about the chaotic energy out there and how to manage our energy. And then we will do some personal guidance mini readings for people. And a reminder one more time, you need to be on my page on Facebook. Colleen van der Zijden, Medium and Empowerment Coach. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Tina. And so, as you've noticed, it's a little crazy out there, isn't it? The energy is something else. So we are going to talk about one powerful strategy, just one powerful strategy that will help you deliberately manage your energy so you can be more grounded and more centered no matter what is happening around you. So we're going to do that first. I do want to also point out at the top of this feed where the description of what I'm doing is there. There's also a free gift for you if you are interested in that. It is a free download, The Empowered Path to Inner Peace. And it's 9 ways to be peaceful even if you're surrounded by chaos. And it's free. You don't pay for it. I made that for you because I've had so many of my clients struggling with the energy and they're looking for ways to have their inner peace. So that's why that's there. And I'm looking to see what you guys are writing to me. I'm trying, oops, it went by me fast, Sherry. I'm trying to find something to get me moving forward. I can relate, right? Say that again later and maybe I'll talk to you. Hi, Denise. Hi, Mindy. Hi, Pamela. My patience is being tested, but good otherwise. Very cold, though. Yes, we didn't get nearly as much snow, but we certainly have some cold going, as does everybody else. So let's get to it so we have lots of time to do these personal guidance readings later on. So, as I said, we are talking about this crazy energy out there. There's a lot going on, right? Everybody is feeling on edge. People are feeling lost. People are feeling all over the place. People are feeling up and down, extreme emotions. Now, when we're talking about managing our energy and our emotions are tied together. When we feel good, like we're in a pretty good mood, right? Our energies are grounded, centered, and calm. So we can deliberately manage our energy. And when we do this, it's like we bring our energy back to us and we don't feel quite so out of control. So we feel better when we manage it. We'll still have emotional reactions because we're human and we're supposed to have emotional reactions. However, when we are being deliberate with our energy, we won't get triggered quite as frequently. We will also notice that our emotional reactions don't last as long, and we won't get so stuck in them. We'll feel less scattered and less overwhelmed. With the way the energy is going out there, and I'm just going to briefly mention, probably for the 500th time since I've been doing these shows for many years now, we are in the consciousness shift, right? So we have a lot of energetic shifting happening around us as it is, as we are evolving from what used to be a very physical led existence here to one that is more high vibrational, one where we understand the concept of oneness, love, kindness, compassion, where we are all connected together and we recognize this oneness. So that's where we're heading, okay? But as we can see, a lot of things are happening in the world that are not of that energy. However, the reason I tell you this is to know that we are heading in a certain direction, and also to acknowledge that with everything that is happening in our physical world, it is understandable that these energies are going to be impacting us, okay? It's important for us to know this, and it's an important lesson for us during this time to learn to be deliberate in how we use our energy. Okay, this is something we're supposed to be learning, truly. Okay, I'm checking to see what we got. Julie, how can I see the last product? The Manifest an Amazing 2026. I will post the link, or maybe Greg will post it for you. That class, the Manifest an Amazing 2026, is still available. It's on demand, instant access. So you can get that and the really beautiful workbook that I made. Oh, look, Greg is putting it up for you right now. How wonderful. So thinking about this, how important it is for us to learn how to manage our energy. Okay, very important. I always use this example whenever I talk about managing our energy, because you remember how we used to be able to multitask and do a whole bunch of things at once, but now it seems impossible. Have you noticed this? We don't have the mental and emotional and energetic bandwidth to do so much like we used to be able to do. What's been happening is we're trying to do things the way we used to do, the old way, and it's not working. Have you noticed this? It is craziness. I used to be able to do like 5 things at once. Now I have to do 1. I cannot do more than 1 at once. My brain just can't take it. Now what happens is, because we're trying to live in the old energy, is our typical reaction is to judge ourselves and go, what's wrong with me? I used to be able to do it this way, and now I can't do it this way, right? So we do this. And then we try harder. I'm going to try harder to do things just the way I used to do, and it's not working. And what happens is, when we think there's something wrong with us, obviously we don't feel good. But I want to tell you that there is nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You've done nothing wrong. That's the way it is. What's happening is it's simply the energy of the world. All the chaos and turmoil that's out there, that energy is affecting you. The consciousness shift, as we are releasing the old ways of doing things, is affecting us. Our energy is changing. So our normal reaction is try to hold on to how things used to be. And that's not going to work with where we're moving toward. We have to keep going, right? In a new direction. We have actually become hypersensitive to energy. That's what's happening. Again, there's nothing wrong with you at all. There's not. I will talk about that later if you remind me, Lauren, about protecting yourself from negative family energy. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Jan. Hi, Mindy. So rather than getting stuck in that human reaction of pushing through and trying to make something happen, rather than getting stuck in holding on to doing things the way you used to do and then beating yourself up for it, use this awareness that it's simply an energetic shift and you're very sensitive right now. And that's okay. Now you'll choose to go in a different direction. The direction where you're going to manage your energy, deliberately manage your energy, how you're using it, what you're doing. And you do this by, here's the one thing I'm going to talk about, and then there's a strategy that goes with it too. You're going to do this by prioritizing yourself. Okay. I've been talking about this a lot in my coaching groups and in the soul empowerment community. It was in my newsletter today. It is so important for us to embrace this idea, this concept of prioritizing ourselves. The idea of prioritizing ourselves comes with baggage, however, right? For many of us, because we think that if we prioritize ourselves, that we are selfish people. We think it means that we don't care about anybody else. And that's not it at all. Not at all. We still care about other people because we're nice, kind, loving, caring people. However, when we prioritize ourselves, what that means is we're loving ourselves enough to take care of ourselves. We're choosing to do this. We're choosing to prioritize our energy, how we're feeling, what we want. It's self-care beyond the typical things we think of for self-care, right? Sleep, get enough sleep, make sure you eat well, make sure you exercise, have awesome massages. Those are all the things we think about with self-care. And these are all very important. And when we prioritize ourselves, what we are doing is we're adding in a deep awareness of our energy and how we're using it. We only have so much energy as humans, right? We can only have so much in our energetic field. And if we're not deliberate, we can use that energy up worrying or complaining or stuck in fear. Or we can waste our time doing things that aren't important to us. Or giving our time and energy to people or situations that drain us. Okay, you see what happens if we're not aware of our energy, we're unintentional, and we end up losing our energy and getting exhausted. And you might also notice that if you particularly are trying to push through things, keep doing things the old way, that when you get exhausted, it's a big exhaustion. And you'll also notice your frustration and irritation have increased as well. Kate Ann says, this makes so much sense. I was able to juggle 2 jobs and full-time school up until October. Then my brain just stopped being able to multitask and handle the constant hustle. I've been beating myself up thinking I'm not the same person, and I've been so disappointed, right? And this is what happens. And so you know, Kate Ann, that there's nothing wrong with you. It's the energy. It's absolutely the energy. And we have to acknowledge how we're feeling, honor it, and be really careful with our energy. Now, I say this comment all the time, the one I'm about to say. I say this a lot. We are the only ones living our lives, and we get to decide how to do it. Okay? We are the only ones living our lives, and we get to decide how to do it. That means we have the power to make choices to go in a different direction, to honor how we're feeling and respond appropriately to that. So when we make choices that are most important to us, we'll have more clarity on what we want to do and how we want to live. So this all begins with an awareness, right? We want to know what's most important to us. We want to know how we're feeling. We want to look at ourselves and go, you know what, I'm just too tired and I can't do it today. Or somebody asks you to do something, you say, you know what, no, it doesn't feel right. Or maybe you say, yes, that feels great. Who knows, right? Because we're all unique and we have to see for ourselves. So what we want to do to learn how to prioritize yourself with this awareness that you can do this and that you will feel better and that there's nothing wrong with you. It's simply the energy, and we're hypersensitive right now to energy. You're going to ask yourself, what is most important to you? That's one of the questions you need to ask yourself when you're trying to prioritize yourself. What is most important to you? We all may have different answers, and we can have several answers. It's not just one thing, right? Maybe we want, maybe it's family and friends. Maybe that's most important to us. Maybe it's wanting more peace, joy, or that sense of purpose or meaning. Maybe we have a goal or a dream that's calling us, and that's important to us. So we want to consider this. What is most important to us? Then another question to ask yourself is, how do you want to spend your time? And then an add-on with that, and who do you want to spend your time with, right? How do you want to spend your time, and who do you want to spend it with? Lots of times when we feel frustrated or upset or life feels so out of control, it's because we don't believe someplace inside of us that we can go in a different direction, that we can change this. We don't believe this. But if we were to truly embrace this concept of prioritizing ourselves from a loving, self-caring way, we are not selfish jerks, right, who are going to cut people out of our lives, unless, of course, they're draining us and they don't appreciate us. Different question, different situation, right? So we want to know these things. If we prioritize ourselves, we can change everything because we want to live the life of our dreams, right? We want to live life on our terms. We want to enjoy life. And if you're feeling overwhelmed with what's happening, when you start to prioritize and really look at it and really ask yourself, is this how I want to live my life? Is this how I want to spend my time? It will help you get more clarity as you make choices going further. Now, I talked about these things in my Manifest an Amazing 2026 workshop. So when we have clarity on what's most important, it's much easier to make decisions. So much easier. And if you're looking to manifest your best life, that workshop is now on demand, as I mentioned earlier, and it works for manifesting the rest of 2026, but it also works for manifesting anything you want in your life. Same thing, same principles. It's all right there. But anyway, Greg will post that link in a minute, probably again. Whitney, I found that lately I have to ask myself daily, what is most important? It honestly changes every day. And that's not a problem. Okay, that's not a problem. Because there are some days most important is resting. Other days most important, and if you feel this, you will you'll decide, I have to talk to my friend, or I want to work on this project, or whatever it might be. In connection with this, and this is an aside from my plans this evening, but in connection with this, I have started, before I get out of bed in the morning, asking myself what I am anticipating today. Like, what am I anticipating? What this does is it makes my mind start looking for things that I will enjoy, because if we're going to anticipate it, we anticipate enjoying it, right? So I start looking for those things. And also I found that sometimes if I have something on my list that normally I wouldn't go, ooh, this is great, I want to do it, I'm so anticipating it. But when I think about it and I'm like, oh, yes, you know what, I do want to do that. That would be fun. So what this does is it helps us own our power. Okay. And so asking ourselves that question, what is most important? Now, if you've ever experienced a serious illness or someone in your family has experienced a serious illness, have you ever noticed how your life has so much more clarity? Like you start seeing all the things in your life that really aren't that important. Have you noticed this? We go, oh, you know what? I can drop everything if I have to. I can go over here and help you if I have to. And I can drop these things because when it comes down to it, they're not important. And that kind of attitude can help you start seeing what you really want to have in your life, what you really want to do. Most of the time, we don't think about this stuff, do we, right? We live out of habit and busyness, going from one thing to the next, overwhelmed with life. And it's like life happens to us rather than us creating the life we want. And if you know, again, what's important to you, what your priorities are, you have then an inner guide that will point you into the right direction, helping you make the best choices. Okay, because what happens is you start checking in with yourself and you go, what is most important? And you keep asking yourself those questions. What is most important? How do I want to spend my time? We don't have 500 years here. So how do you want to spend your limited time? When you decide to prioritize yourself, you're back in your power. Okay. Otherwise, if you're living from habit and all that stuff, you're not really in your power. You're just reacting, bouncing, as I like to say, as a ball in a pinball machine, bouncing from one thing to the next, right? But if you're deciding to prioritize yourself, now you have a guide. Now you have something that's going to help you get more clarity on how you want to live. So if you're tired of feeling overwhelmed, lost, stuck in worry or fear, being helpless, powerless, all those things, prioritize what you want. Prioritize how you use your energy. And then pull it back from those places that drain you. Okay, you're going to pull it back. If you want more peace and joy, for example, take your energy back from worrying and fear. The more you worry, the more you get stuck in fear, the worse you feel. You know that, right? Right? The more we think about things, the worse we feel. So you can use your power by deciding to prioritize. You want peace and joy. You don't want that. So you deliberately pull your power back, pull your energy back by not feeding those thoughts anymore. As soon as you notice you're stuck in worry, because usually it's not going to help you anyway, right? So if you notice you're stuck there, pull your power back, be deliberate to prioritize, get your thoughts going in a different direction, go do something physical, sing a song, dance, whatever. Do something different, okay? And yes, we're going to go to this for a minute, but before I do this, I want to remind you, make sure you're on my page, Colleen Vanderzijden, Medium and Empowerment Coach, if you think you are going to be asking questions and want some personal guidance, because that is going to be happening in a few minutes. And so I just want to make sure you're over here if that's the case. Sherry, my son died and I'm trying to figure out what to do. Now with my life, things have changed. Yes, it's so different when someone passes because our lives changed, right? Everything changes. It will never go back to the way it was. We have to integrate this new reality into our lives, and it's quite difficult. And actually, Spirit told me a little while ago to offer a class called, and more like a coaching group, a 4-week coaching group called Finding Yourself After Loss. And that is going to happen in April. So I'll just give you guys a heads up on that. So if you've been struggling to find yourself after a big loss, and it can be a loss of a person, loss of a job, loss of a relationship, loss of an animal for that matter, right? Because those are big for us. We'll talk about different ways to handle the grief and also get back to being yourself. So anyway, that was a side journey on my part. And let's get back to where I was going. I want to talk about the world for a half a second. In these days, right, it is so chaotic out there that we're having to be very deliberate about how much of the news we expose to ourselves. And I know we need to be aware of what's happening in the world, but it may not be mentally healthy for you to know everything that's going on. And that doesn't mean you don't care, okay? But it means you may have to prioritize your mental health. Again, this is your life and you get to decide how to live it. So don't let other people's expectations or shoulds, you should do this, you should say that, you should be upset, you should be whatever. Don't let the other people's expectations or shoulds dictate how you live. Don't let fear cause you to lose sight of the life you want to have. I had a client say to me that it kind of felt silly to continue trying to go after the life she wants, creating this business, et cetera, with the state of the world, because it seemed to her that everything is falling apart. And in some ways, everything is falling apart. And so she was kind of on the fence. Should I keep working on this or should I not? But I refuse to give up my goals and dreams because the world is crazy. I refuse. I refuse to let the fear win. And that is a priority for me. It is absolutely the priority for me. Hi, Julie. Hi, Virginia. So there is a part of you that is strong and courageous, that is bold and free. Can you feel that in you just by my saying that? Strong and courageous, bold and free. And I am calling that part of us the inner rebel. And this is a big project I'm working on this year, is to help people see their inner rebel and step into that power. This is the part of us that refuses to live a life that is less than our boldest, most amazing life. I get goosebumps just thinking about that, right? Living that boldest, most amazing life, going after it. It's wonderful. And that I'll be teaching the Inner Rebel Code. That's also coming out maybe the end of March. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, we're going to be doing that so you can live your bold and courageous self. If you want to be on the wait list for that, you can write something in the comments and I'll add you to a list somewhere. I'm looking to see what Kate wrote. I am reading a great book right now. Don't believe everything you think. Why your thinking is the beginning and end of suffering by Joseph. I'm not going to even try to say the name Julian. I can't say it. I'm sorry. I had a student whose last name was that, and she tried so hard to get me to say it right. Jennifer, so much energy just listening to this. My heart is racing. I hope in a good way, Jennifer, right? Because we have this part inside of us that knows what we need, that knows what we want, and is willing to stand up for it and push us, give us a little push to get there. Yes, and Joette's saying, great advice, we can't live in fear, and we cannot. I refuse to do that. So the more you prioritize your wants and needs, the more powerful you become, and life will feel easier. That doesn't mean you're not going to have problems, because we're humans and there's always going to be something popping up here and there, right? But you're better able to handle them because you'll be following your inner guidance. Okay, you'll be following that. So for example, just a couple more examples, and then I'm going to answer questions in just a few minutes, literally. If you want more meaning in your life, right? You want more meaning. You want to feel more purposeful. You want to have more direction. Use your energy to go after the things that give you meaning and purpose. Spend more time with people you like. Do fun things. Take a small step toward your dream or your goal or your business aspirations, and then let go of the other parts that aren't important. That's a hard part sometimes. But if you know it's not important and you focus on what you want instead, it's easier to let go. Let go of those things that aren't bringing you meaning. Let go of the things you just don't like. Let them go. If you want more clarity or peace, do one thing at a time. Okay, don't fall back and try to do what you used to do. It's not working anymore. So do one thing at a time. Do less. For most of us at this point, our mental bandwidth needs a lot more space. We just need a lot more space. We may need more space in our physical lives as well. So let go of those things that you don't need or want, and that's going to help give you more space. And that can be physical items. It can also be mental clutter, both of them. Let go of wanting other people or situations to change. That's just taking up rent in your mind. Just let it go. If you can't change it, then let it go. Accept that things are the way they are. Sometimes that's difficult. A lot of uncertainty in the world right now. We can accept that we have this uncertainty. We can accept it. Doesn't mean we like it. Doesn't mean we're not going to do what we can to create more peace in the world. Okay? But we can accept it and recognize the parts we cannot change, rather than going on and on and on and on about how we are stuck in worrying about the uncertainty. When you do this, you let go of this stuff, it frees up more space. And then because you stop worrying and you stop complaining and you stop telling yourself those stories over and over and over again, you'll have a lot more space in your mind, and it'll be easier to figure out your next steps. Now, one of my favorite strategies to get back into our power, and people in the soul empowerment community have heard this, and my coaching clients have heard this, but it is highly effective. And so I do want to share that with you here. This is to help you go after what's most important and live in your truth. This strategy, I call it pause, breathe, choose. And I will explain exactly what it means. Pause, breathe, choose. I use it all of the time, and so do my coaching clients. This covers everything we have talked about tonight. Pause. As soon as you notice you're stuck in a story, you're stuck in fear, you're stuck in overwhelm, you're stuck in whatever, pause. Okay? As soon as you decide to pause, you're back in your power. As soon as you do it, you don't have to do anything else just yet. You're back in your power because now you have awareness going and you're seeing something. So you pause. Then the next thing you do is you take a breath. You breathe. This centers you and grounds you, gets you out of your head, back into your body. We want to get back into our body. When we're stuck in our head with a story or emotions or whatever, we need to get back in our body. So when you breathe, centers and ground you back in. The next step is choose. Pause, breathe, choose. You take deliberate action. What is your priority? What feels like the best solution? What is the answer? What do you really want to do? When we do this, we're checking in with ourselves and we're going, okay, this feels like the right answer. This is what I want. And sometimes, sure, we know what the right answer is. We know the proper choice. Let's just say, for an example, you have a son, and this is coming from experience for me. You have a son who's always asking you for money, right? And so, not lately, he's long past that stage. And so he used to ask me for money, and I would give it to him, even though I knew it was the wrong choice. I knew it was. But in my mind, I was like, well, it's easier to do it this way. Which is a perfect example of sometimes our choices are going to be challenging or difficult, or might cause some conflict, or might make somebody upset. But to stay true to ourselves, we have to do them anyway, right? The best choice is not to give him money because he needs to learn to be responsible for himself, right? So we have a momentary discomfort as we make that choice, but it's an important choice. It's an important choice. So pause, breathe, choose. Literally, you can do this in under 30 seconds once you start to see how fast it happens. You know your answer. You know what the right choice is. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to do it, but be brave, be courageous, and just do it anyway. Now, I'm in approximately 1 minute. I am, Virginia's saying she uses it. Jennifer says, I literally just said I felt I needed a purpose. I lost a beautiful dog and I'm now waiting a new puppy. Lost our mom in August. A lot of loss. Oh, that is so hard. I'm so sorry if you're going through that. So in 1 minute, I'm going to answer questions. You have questions, you need some guidance, some intuitive guidance. We are going to do that and ask a good question so it gets my attention. I know some of you had asked questions earlier and I was like, ooh, that's a good question. Ask it later. Now's the time. Make sure you're on my page, Colleen van der Zijden, Medium and Empowerment Coach. Okay, not on Lily Dale's page. And while you're getting ready to ask me these questions, I'm going to tell you I am doing a special offering on February 2nd. I am going to do a soul guidance reading session, a group limited to 10 people where every single person is going to have their own little mini reading. I'll talk a little bit about living as your soul, being in your truth. I'll talk a little bit about that, but then it's going to be mini soul guidance readings, and that's on February 2nd. And again, limited to 10 people. I will post the link later, but I do have it as one of the events on my Facebook page, so you can check that out. Okay, questions. Hit me up with your questions, people. I'm going to look and see who said something. And so, and the other thing, while I'm checking your comments, make sure if you're interested in any of these classes I've mentioned to you, I've got so many things planned, and I'm not like the normal people. I just like to create classes to help people. I don't do it because I'm like trying to be a billionaire or something. Like that's going to happen. But anyway, I'm just scrolling back to see what questions we've got going. Okay, here we go. Oh, here's some good questions. Thank you, Lauren. How do I protect my energy from negative family energy? Anybody else have that? Raise your hand, right? Yes, so many people have this. How do we protect our energy from negative family energy? There's several things to remember. Number one, if you know they always act the way they do and it bugs you and they're negative, stop wanting them to change. Stop trying to convince them to change. Stop telling them you want to live or be different. Stop telling them you want them to be different. That was a better sentence. Okay, so what that means is we're accepting that's the way they are. They're negative. There we are. Done. We know they're negative. Now you can make decisions on how to move forward. Okay, if you want to be near them and have to be near them, and even though people are negative, sometimes we do want to be around them because they're our family and we do love them. Okay, so you've got choices, right? So if you want to be around them, then you can literally put an energy bubble around yourself purely by intention. I surround myself with energy and I am protecting myself, and only positive energy can come into my little bubble here. Something like that, right? You can literally do that and it actually works. The big thing, remember, is to not want people to change. Okay, be different. We don't want them to be different. We do, but we know it's not going to work. So we let go of wanting them to be different. If we truly can move into acceptance, that's just the way they are, we will not be triggered anymore, which will protect your energy. Guys, that helps. It really does. Because if I know, for example, and I always use this as an example because it's funny, I go to Thanksgiving dinner and my uncle, whatever, is always ranting and raving about something and he criticizes everybody. And I get upset and go, I can't believe you say that. Why do you keep saying that? Stop doing that. And he keeps doing it. Well, obviously, I'm beating my head against a wall and I should stop, right? So I just accept that's the way he is. Now I can decide. Am I going to walk out of the room the next time he says something? Am I going to just ignore him and pretend he didn't even talk? Am I not going to go to the dinner? Am I going to, in my head, just go, oh, there he goes again? And just let it roll off you and not allow him to trigger you. So those are some ways we can physically handle negative energy that's coming at us. And the bubble is a huge one. I really like the bubble. So those are a couple thoughts I have for you, Lauren. Greg posted the soul guidance readings for February 2nd. And remember, it's only 10 people. That's all I'm doing. Carolyn is writing a book I dreamed about writing 30 years ago. Ooh, still something that can elevate my life now. Well, Carolyn, as soon as I read that out loud, I got tingles. Whenever I get tingles, I know it's a good thing. So if it's still part of your dream, then yes, go for it. Yeah, why not? Think about all the other experiences you've had in the last 30 years that will go into this book and give whoever's reading it more information, more inspiration. And this would also give you that sense of purpose and meaning that I know you're wanting. So yes, I have the tingles. I totally have them. Go do that. Write that book. I know that sounds so simple, right? Go write that book. Having written a book myself, it is not like you can just do it in a weekend and have it be good. It does take planning and stuff, but you know what? If it's a goal and a dream and it's calling you and it's been calling you, go do it. Just go do it. Jade, I feel like I keep running into roadblock after roadblock. Somebody else called it running into a brick wall. My one friend said that she even noticed that I always have so many roadblocks and so many extra steps in a lot of things I do. Now that is interesting, Jade. That is so interesting. Jade, can you give me an example, like where you're trying to go and what gets in your way? Because that might give me some more something to help you better. It does make me wonder, though, if you... okay, try this, Jade. If you're moving in a certain direction, okay, you have a goal in mind and you're moving in that direction. For you, and this might apply to some other people who might also try this as well, for you, I would suggest that you sit for a few minutes, literally get in the light, okay? You know, invite the light to come in and just kind of have a meditation with it, a really brief meditation, just feeling that light. And then think about where it is you're going, what your goal is, and see if information comes in for you to tell you how to get there easily. Okay, so that's just a thought. Another thought is sometimes these roadblocks are not a bad thing. Sometimes the roadblocks give us a pause. It's like a life pause so that our energy catches up with wherever we're going. Sometimes they're there to see if we are really committed to our dream and goal. Are we going to keep going? Sometimes roadblocks are there also because it's protecting us from something we shouldn't be doing. I know, how frustrating is all of this, right? Because it's kind of like we want our roadblocks to be, clear. This is what it is. I work around this. I demolish this roadblock. I go around this roadblock, whatever it is. But there's always different kinds in there. And we can all look back on our lives sometimes and see where something didn't work out the way it should have, or the way we wanted it is a better way of saying that, the way we wanted it to work out, and then realized after the fact, good thing on that one, right? So I almost, this is going to sound a little strange, but I know you well enough, I think, Jade, to just go, the next time you have a roadblock, just kind of look at it and go, this is interesting. I wonder what's going on with this, without getting caught up in, I can't believe I have another block. Okay, without getting caught up with that. So kind of look at it as no big deal, is what I'm saying. Yeah, interesting. Another thing, I've got so many things to tell you guys about. I haven't talked to you in so long. I've got all these things coming up. My Reimagine Your Life retreat is at the end of May, and I'm just going to mention it. My website's not quite ready yet for people to purchase. I'm waiting for the hotel to give me something special. And anyway, it's at the end of May in Niagara Falls, and it's all about letting go of blocks so we can create our ideal life. So that will be fun in person at Niagara Falls. So anyway, keep that in the back of your mind, Jade. Yes, so much is exciting. I got lots of ideas. Tina, I love the sparkles and tinsel in your hair. Ooh, I love my fairy hair. I would love some guidance from Spirit about comparison as a professional. Ooh. Well, Tina, here's an interesting thing. When I feel into your energy, immediately, I have to say I feel quite empowered. I feel confident. I feel like you are the kind of person that knows what they're doing, and you do it well. Okay, so that's what it feels like to me. And it is easy for all of us to fall into comparison. That person's better, they do it differently, these people like them better, whatever. Okay, and this is my guide over here, that's what's happening. Anyway, and there is this sense of you coming, I'm going to say, more fully into your power. You guys know me. My big thing is to help people recognize they have the power to change their lives. And they do that by being authentic, by being their true selves. So that's what I'm always talking about. And I see you coming into your power even stronger. And it's really interesting too. I also see you as helping other people in the professional realm see their power. And that to me, it feels like such a beautiful way to use your power to guide other people as well. And there is this tingly sense of you when you're helping other people see their power and see their competency, how the energy totally shifts around you. That's kind of neat and interesting. You'll have to let me know how that resonates with you, Tina, and like what that means, because I just see you really like helping people around you see themselves in a really powerful way as well. That's kind of cool. Okay, let's see. Joette, I thank you for this. I have had some health issues and wonder how that will work out. Actually, I have to tell you, I feel okay. I feel okay. Like things are manageable. That's what it feels like to me. And I also want to mention to you too, I'm feeling very strongly this sense of joy around you. And you may have heard about, this was a long time ago, so I don't even know if it's common anymore to know. There was a guy many years ago who it was all about laughing and joking and all that stuff. And people were healing themselves from various illnesses and ailments by doing laughter and watching funny movies and laughing at jokes and all that stuff. And for some reason, I see joy around you. So you must be working really hard to not let your health issues overwhelm you, but instead continually trying to refocus to bring more joy in. You must be doing this. And if you're not, you should. And I always use should in a quote because you have free will and you do whatever you want. You don't have to do anything I tell you to do. And there is that. Amazing. Okay, I'm going to keep going because I'll see how many people I get to. Greg says, therapist here, you're not alone if you have family conflict. 1 in 4 Americans are estranged from at least one family member. Can you believe that? I can, because it's like almost everybody I know is. Actually, it might be everybody I know. Interesting. Okay. Yesterday marked 9 years since I've lost my mom. This is Kate Ann. She passed at the time of my life I needed her most. Oh, so sad. Life has been a domino effect after losing her. I've really needed her, but I also find myself overcompensating in life, trying to make her proud. How do I convince myself that I'm enough and that she is happy with the woman I have become? Well, I can tell you for a fact that she is happy with the woman that you have become, and that you have never had to prove yourself to her, whether she was alive or on the other side. You have never had to do that, that she has always loved you, and she's always seen the beautiful gifts that you have as a person. And in some ways, she also wants to tell you, apparently she's stepping in for a sec here, she also wants to tell you that you wanting to make her proud is such a sign of love from you. Okay, it's not really that you're trying to prove yourself to her. It's like you want to show her how much you love her by being such a person that she would be proud of, right? It's an interesting way to look at it. And she can see this, okay? She can see this, and she knows that this is totally out of love. It's like if she were still living, you'd be like, Mom, look at what I'm doing. It's the same thing. You're doing the same thing. Mom, look what I'm doing. And you want her approval, of course, because she's a wonderful person. So this is wonderful. This is absolutely wonderful. And there is... Okay, so what you might do is when you're feeling like you're trying to make her proud, like you're working on it, okay? You get that feeling? Just pause, breathe, and choose to kind of go, hey, Mom, how are you doing? Look what I've got going here. And just have a conversation. And you will feel her, and you will feel her love and approval coming toward you. It may not be that very second, or it might be. We don't know. But you will feel it. And instead, just kind of go and just know 100% that she is proud of you. She loves you so much. Oh my gosh. Do you wear like a necklace or something of hers? Because I want to go like this, and that usually means a necklace. Anyway, I'll just leave that there. Okay. You're welcome, Carolyn. I can hardly wait to hear about your book. I'm looking to see what else we got in here. I think I missed some. Okay, let's see what this is. I feel a strong sense of purpose across many areas of my life. This is Whitney. Yet recently, I've had difficulty even focusing my energy on my passions. I don't know what to prioritize since I have such excitement for so many areas of my life. Woo! Now that's a new one for me, let me tell you, Whitney. Because usually people say to me, I don't know what to prioritize because I can't figure it out. There's nothing I like, those kinds of things. I love a person after my own heart that has so many things they're excited about. Okay, so this is there's a couple things I would say. One, try this. Sit down, breathe, just sometime when it's somewhat quiet. Imagine yourself going to the end of your life. You're 110 years old, okay? You're getting ready to pass, right? And looking back on your life and going, look what I did. And then see what pops up that you did, okay? See what shows up. The problem, and I will put that in quotes too, with having too many things is we can become scattered, okay? And it can be hard to focus on one thing. I have found, as being a somewhat scattered person at times myself, that if I write down exactly what I'm going to do the next day, that really helps, and what project I'm going to work on. But back to what I was saying before I took a little side adventure. See, a perfect example of scattered for you, Whitney. So if you go to the end of your life and you look back on your life and you go, oh, what did I do? Was my life a complete success? And how was it a complete success? Or what wasn't a complete success? Another question you can ask yourself, and this is one of my favorites as well, if you could do anything you wanted and know you would succeed, what would you do? And the first thing that pops into your head is probably the first thing you should do. For me, years and years ago, and I am talking like 25, 30 years ago, which is amazing to me now thinking about that. When I first asked myself that question, if I could do anything I wanted to know I would succeed, what would I do? It was write a book. Okay, so I'm talking 25, 30 years ago. My daughter is now 30. In 2020, I was still talking about it, hadn't written it yet, and she says, you're never going to do it. And then I thought, oh, I'm telling everybody to go after their dreams, and I haven't done mine yet. So I wanted to prove to her I could do it, and that's when I did write my book in 2020. I started it in 2020. Didn't get published till 2022 because of all the writing, the editing, et cetera, et cetera. But when I asked myself that, it was write the book. And when I went to the end of my life, in my mind, I was sad that I hadn't written my book. And that also helped motivate me to do what I wanted. So you do not have to know a perfect answer just yet. But if there has been a dream you've had for a long time, it's probably important. If something keeps coming back in your mind over and over and over again, that's important. Okay, and then pick one, maybe two, and then start doing it. Okay, the one that feels right to your soul, that calls to you, that kind of thing. Okay, Whitney, have fun. Carol, how can I stop worrying? Carol, how you can stop worrying? I said this to one of my clients the other day, is to prioritize yourself. Can you believe it? And you're going, what does that mean? What that means is worrying is a sign of fear. Worrying is a sign of hopelessness. Worrying is a sign of helplessness, right? We don't want to prioritize that. When we worry, we actually increase it. Okay, so what do you want instead? Like, what's the opposite of worrying? I would say peace. I would go with peace. Okay, so let's just use peace for my example right now. So as soon as you start worrying, pause, breathe, redirect. Remind yourself, I choose peace. I choose peace. You can also say, I trust. I trust that I will be guided, right? I don't know what the real percentage is, so I'm going to make one up. I would say that 95% of the worries we have never come to pass. It's probably higher than that. I don't know. Somebody Google that and tell me. So, right? So it's a big number. We worry about things that are going to happen. Do you know how much mind space that takes up when we're worrying? So redirect your thoughts. Now, another really strong, wonderful strategy I use, and I've used with a lot of coaching clients. I've got lots of coaching ideas tonight, don't I? Whenever you start worrying, if it's not something you have to make a decision on immediately, tell yourself you're not going to worry about it until, and you pick a date in the future. I love this strategy. So today is, what is today? January 20th. So say today you said, I'm not going to worry about this anymore, or I'm not going to worry about anything anymore. And which we'll see how that goes. And say until January 30th, you're going to give your 10-day vacation from worrying. Every time you start to worry, you say to yourself, oh no, not worrying now. I'm going to do that on January 30th. Every single time. Before you know it, you will have broken the habit of worrying because you are deliberately redirecting your thoughts, prioritizing your peace, sending your thoughts in a different direction. Now, when January 30th comes, you can spend the whole day worrying if you want, or maybe some of the things you were worried about have already taken care of themselves anyway, and you don't need to worry about them anymore, right? They're already done. They're already gone. And you can also go, you know what? I kind of like this. I'm not going to worry again until February 28th. And then you do it again. That is a really powerful way to reclaim your power because you're making the decision. You're not going to worry about it. You're in your power. When you're in your power, life is a lot better. And then you go in a different direction. You'll have more peace. Try it. I'm telling you. One of my clients did it, and she said she had no idea how much time she spent worrying. And she said it was amazing because it was like she had all this free time and she didn't know what to do with it. So if you have lots of free time after that happens, go do fun things. That's what you're going to do. Connie, I've been learning to use a pendulum. Is there a safe way to do this without evil coming in? Connie, do I have a pendulum here? I have pendulums everywhere. I have never, ever experienced or sensed evil around me when I do mediumship or channeling or using a pendulum. So you just set the intention that you're using a pendulum and you're getting messages you're supposed to get from your guide or whoever you want it to be. So you will not have evil come in. You have to simply believe that. I have never seen it. I've never experienced. I've used pendulums forever. I've actually never even heard anybody say that evil can come in on a pendulum. I've never heard that. So that's my belief system. Just set the intention and it's all good. Okay. Hi, Laura. Corky, you are going to fly. Once I fly, you will be more courageous. You are already courageous and you'll be more courageous. It's going to be amazing. Amazing. Joette, she's trying hard to overcome this. I feel good. You just keep going, Joette. I really do. I feel good. You just keep going. Friends count as family members. That is true. Okay, let me see who else has questions. Oh, I have so many comments here. Oh my goodness, I should probably pay attention. What time is it? Oh, I've got time still. Good. Tina, thank you so much. This made my heart smile and resonate so much. I'm a spiritually led therapist, and I want to help others bring spirituality and talk therapy. Yay! Just started my new practice December 1st. Congratulations! Well, no wonder I kept feeling that. Oh, thank goodness. Jade, yes. For example, I'm going back to school, and there is all these steps, and once I figure one thing out and I feel like I'm on the right track, another thing pops up that I need or have to figure out, and just seems like I'm running in a circle. This is also happening with an apartment that my boyfriend and I tried to get. Thank you for the advice. I will try it. Good. Yes, I can relate. I've had a lot of tech issues lately. I just get one thing done and then something else pops up, and it is so frustrating, right? And remember also, sometimes things just happen, and just step back. No reactions. That's what we're going to do. Non-reactivity. Something happens we don't like. I mean, unless it's a big thing, of course. We're just going to kind of step back and go, whatever. I've been saying that a lot. Whatever. Kate, I don't wear jewelry, but as you were talking, I started feeling heat on my chest. That's when I went like this. Everybody else, I'm looking in the mirror and it looks like a handprint. I'm in tears as if she put her hand on me. Oh my gosh. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, that's so amazing. I love this. Oh, I got chills. I'm having chills. You are welcome, Whitney. Barb, my heart is broke at 71 and I feel I won't find happiness. How do I move on? Now that's a big question, right? But here's the thing, Barb. When we have loss and our heart gets broken for whatever reasons they might be, it is natural and normal to feel like we will never find happiness again. We also feel like we will never be able to move on, that it's impossible. That is normal and natural. So number one, we're going to accept that we feel that way. That's what happens. And for everyone, so many of us have gone through grief and loss, and later we do recognize, okay, we've made it through the worst of it. We've made it through. So knowing that you're not going to be stuck there forever, even if it feels like it, you will not be, can help us. The next thing I would tell you to do is a simple thing, which is to make a point of doing things you enjoy or that are fun. When we are struggling and we're feeling depressed and sad, I know it's hard to even think of anything or even do anything, right? Because we lose our motivation. But if you can make a commitment to yourself to find one thing a day to either appreciate in gratitude. I love this hot cup of coffee. I love my pillow. I'm happy to see the snow. Whatever it might be. I'm happy so-and-so called me. That's going to do a lot toward helping you get back into moving on and finding happiness at some point. So one small thing to be grateful for, that you appreciate, that you love. And also find something fun to do. Okay, what did you used to like doing? Is it reading? Is it knitting? Is it whatever? And sometimes, rather than even finding something you used to do, maybe it's better to do new things that you've never done before. Learn how to knit, learn how to paint, go jump in a pool, whatever. New things can help too. So those, I know that sounds like a lot, so I want you to pick one thing and do that one thing. And then when you've done that for a while, pick another thing and do that one. Okay, just pick one thing. I would start with the gratitude and appreciation first. Then next, I think I would go next with doing something new. Okay, doing something new that you haven't done before. Because why not? Right? You never know. You might find a new passion or a new hobby. These are all signs of loving yourself. Okay? Signs of loving yourself when you try your best to move forward. Okay? It's important. Okay, and I will send you, as will everybody, send her lots of love, everybody, Barb. Okay. Teresa, you'd mentioned some of us may be feeling we used to be able to get more done, multiple things, but can only do a few now. What I could accomplish in a couple of hours now takes hours. I stay on task, don't break, don't veer to something else, but I'll look at the clock and suddenly it's 4 or 5 hours later and not done with my task. I swear I feel like I've gone through a time warp. I know it sounds bizarre, but would you happen to have any insight? Have you guys noticed that too, right? There is some kind of weird time thing happening. We do something and time is just that way. It can also go the other way too, where we can get a lot done in a short amount of time, but the energy isn't that way right now. So that's not quite as common. I am glad that you're able to stay on task. Okay, so that's huge right there. And I've noticed the same thing for me. Once I get on the task, and whichever one it is I'm on, I can stay on it for quite some time, which I want to tell you means that you're in the flow. You're in a flow. So this is good. Okay, it is good. So I would acknowledge it in a positive way because you are staying on task. And even if it is taking longer, you're in a flow and it's working. Isn't that interesting though? I wonder, and this is just popping into my head, and we'll find out if this happens. I am wondering if it will go the other way, where we start having those time warps where we get so much done in like an hour, where before it would take 5 hours and now it's an hour. I wonder if we'll start experiencing that as well. I bet we do. Keep track of that, Teresa, and if it does happen, I'm going to file that in the back of my mind, see if it happens for me too. I bet you that's going to happen. Pam says it's hard to write a book, but so rewarding. It is, and she's almost done with. I think she's really close to the final edition for hers, the final editing. So it is rewarding, and it's such a sense of satisfaction. Okay, let's see. Okay, good, perfect advice, perfect. Thank you for the safe use. Perfect, great, good. Okay, great session. Thank you. Lisa says she read your book, Greg. Yay. Yeah. Greg wrote a book called The Quickening. What time is it? Oh my gosh. See, look at how time is flying here, right? So I want to remind you, I have the Soul Guidance reading session coming up February 2nd. It is only 10 people. I'm going to talk a little bit about the soul living in your truth, and then everybody's going to get a reading who's there and personal guidance. So whatever's going on, we'll talk about it and we'll see what my guide has to say. It's always fun to do soul readings, and I'll have a little bit more time to talk than I do tonight, where I have to go a little bit faster than that. And I will post a link or a post maybe tomorrow that lists all the things that I've got coming up that you can register for. The Manifest Your Amazing 2026, you can get that on demand. So that's easy to do. You can do the soul guidance readings. You can get that one now. And just keep in the back of your mind, the end of May is my Reimagine Your Life retreat. And I've got the Inner Rebel course coming up, and I've got something else coming up, whatever it is, but I'll let y'all know. There's so much out there. And again, I create these things because I want to help you. Okay, I'm not sitting here going, ooh, I want to be a billionaire and I want to do this. It's not that at all. It's because I have so much information to share, and my guide, he's always giving me new things to share. So I want to get them out there for you so that it can help you, because it took me a long time to figure out who I really was. I mean, a really long time. And so I can give you a shortcut to it, help you. We do an Unstuck class. I'm going to do a class on toxic people, how to handle toxic people. And I think my subtitle is going to be a guide for empaths, sensitives, and other nice people. so you can get some strategies to handle some of the jerks in the world. So that's what we're doing. Okay, Carolyn, I'm excited that you are excited about writing your book. I can hardly wait. Next time you're here, you tell me what you did and remind me what I said, and then tell me, because when I'm channeling, I don't remember anything. Kate Ann. Your mother's name is Colleen as well. Oh, wow. Oh, I got goosebumps again. Isn't that amazing? It's miraculous. I love Spirit always finds a way to get through. Always finds a way. Yes. Okay. So thank you, everybody. Because it's 9:00 and I probably should stop talking. I will be here next week. I don't know exactly what I'm going to talk about yet, but we'll do a lot of this where we answer questions. So I answer questions. So if you have questions, we're going to do a lot of this again. And I'll talk about something depending on what Spirit says that they want me to talk about. I don't know. You have any questions about anything I've talked about tonight? Feel free to ask. You can put them right here in the comments. I will check the comments tomorrow. You guys have the most wonderful week, and thank you so much for joining me tonight. It has been so much fun talking about prioritizing your energy, pause, breathe, and choose, and answering your beautiful questions. And hopefully you're in a little bit more clarity as you move forward this week. You guys have so much fun. Love you all. See you later.